Hey guys, I came across this event previously and I haven't really been able to get it out of my head. I'm talking about a series between Paper Rex and Bren Esports in the Southeast Asian VCT playoffs. If you're unfamiliar, Bren Esports is from the Philippines and Paper Rex is from Singapore with a mix of Singaporean, Indonesian, and Malaysian players. During the Southeast Asian VCT Stage 3 playoffs, these teams first meet at the upper bracket finals where Paper Rex won 2-1. The very next day, Bren defeat their lower bracket final challenger Alter Ego to have a rematch with Paper Rex in the grand finals, and this time it's a best-of-5 series, of which Bren take the victory in a convincing 3-0 fashion. I admit matchup swings like this aren't all that rare, but I kept wondering how, so I decided to watch the games myself, and I think I can help explain a little bit of how it happened. First things first, let's go over the maps. In the upper bracket finals, Bren picked Icebox, Paper Rex picked Breeze, and Ascent was the decider. They ended up trading each other's maps, and Rex dominated on Ascent for a 13-1 finish. In the grand finals, Bren picked Bind, Rex picked Split, Bren picked Icebox again, Rex picked Breeze again, and Ascent was again the decider. Between the two series, the only map that we saw twice was Icebox. So, map pool shadowboxing aside, Bren's map pick flipping from Rex back to Bren in the grand finals is a really good culprit to look at for why this series swapped from one day to the next. And Icebox was always going to be a real brawl between these teams anyway. The analyst desk favored Paper Rex on it as they were undefeated on the map throughout playoffs, but Bren are no slouches on it either, with an 80% win rate historically on that map. They picked it for a reason, after all. So let's get into it. In the upper bracket, it opens up strong for Bren's attacking side, some rounds predicated off of solid jet entries by Dubstep. Good ults and more conservative retake play get Paper Rex a few rounds in return, and that streak continues despite an attempt by Bren to retain control with a 3 ult commitment on round 9. Because Borkum wasn't playing inside his ult, he gets taken out very quickly, and even though Forsaken's flank only goes 1-for-1, it delays Bren's post-plant positioning enough for a smooth retake by the rest of Paper Rex, making this a swing round for the defense.
Here for the side of PRX, and Divine, he's looking to build one more wall on up to try and get that defuse on down, and PRX to clean up house. It's all up to Dubstep right now, and can Dubby go for the clutch? It's all up to him here versus Mindfreak. No takedowns whatsoever, as PRX will get in the way yet again. And just how decisive that defense was from Paper Rex.
Through a continuation of this streak, they're able to tie it up at the half. At this point, it's clear that Dubstep on the side of Bren is playing very well. His ability to get opening picks on Jet is what got them their original lead, but he's the only one on the team to really be putting up numbers, whereas on Paper Rex, sure, Forsaken is leading the charge, but the other members are doing better at holding their own, and this becomes key once they're on the attack. Bren do get a repeat pistol plus bonus round, but Divide comes up huge for Paper Rex on round 15 with the 3K on a site retake that jumpstarts another streak. This time not to tie, but to take
the lead. Side of Paper Rex, there's a 1v1 between Benkai and Dubstep. The nanoswarms will force him off of it, and he knows that the time is ticking. Benkai will secure the round, and Paper Rex answer back.
Not all of these rounds were rightfully theirs. Round 17 comes to mind, but Rex have more members who are able to pull out big rounds to secure this streak continuing. It's now map point for Paper Rex, and Bren are able to get 3 rounds for themselves by getting scrappier, really mixing up their positioning. There's even a round where we see some fire from Dispense, who gets a 4K from an isolated side of an inner site split, but Forsaken refuses to go into overtime. And on round 24, it gets a 3-kill opening on Outer into an op frag, and then a 4th knife to ace the round, giving the map to Paper Rex 13-11.
Now, suddenly, at the cusp of match point, Paper Rex, they're making it happen. They brought this to a 5v2, and that was the 1. Here's the 3. Forsaken, he's come alive. The prodigy of SGMY. And now he gets you the 4th. Will he cap off the game with an ace? Yes, he will!
There's no confusion as to why Bren picked this map. They're able to abuse its size to scramble their opponent's positioning, and they look strategically comfortable on it. But this particular meeting, the firepower wasn't there from the team beyond Dubstep to counter the team play that Paper Rex had. Looking over to the grand finals, Icebox starts the same. Bren are on attack, and again they get the pistol and bonus. It's only 2 rounds, but at this point there's already a sign that it's not just Dubstep pulling the weight. Round 3 showcases good positioning to win a round even with a weaker buy, and even when Forsaken is able to pick up an op for himself, there are too many threats on the side of Bren for him to deal with. In fact, he seems committed to holding long B, even after he or his team should have realized his hold on that position just wasn't working, which continues to give Bren Esports openings into the outer site. Bren are up 9-3 at the half, and Paper Rex's backs are against the wall, staring down what could quickly turn into match point. They're able to take their first pistol plus bonus of this Icebox head-to-head, but it doesn't last. With limited rounds to play with, Paper Rex are forced to make some hard economic decisions, and even with a 2 versus 0 ult advantage on the final round, Wits alone forces Rex to rotate into the other members of Bren, and their better weaponry is there not only to finish the map 13-6, but also to finish this best of 5 series 3-0. Paper Rex didn't play bad this time around, but Bren had multiple players on their A game, not just Dubstep, and that allowed their scrappy approach to the map to work better for them. Much of the sentiment ahead of the grand finals was that Paper Rex was going to come out on top. If they'd been able to secure any of the first 3 maps, I do think we would have seen a 3-2 victory for them. Unfortunately, while the SEA desks dubbed Rex the Kings of Icebox, they also dubbed Bren the Kings of Overtime, which is reflected in the 16-14 and 14-12 scorelines of the first 2 maps of this grand finals. And by the time Icebox rolled around, Paper Rex were already down 2 maps, and I think it's safe to say pressure was not a non-factor on the side of Paper Rex. If you need to take away anything from this series of series, it's that while you should always respect map pools when considering a matchup, because of the nature of the game where mechanical skill expression is at least equal to, if not superior, to strategic skill expression, you can never perfectly mentally simulate how a series will work out. That's what makes games like Valorant so interesting. Because of their success in these playoffs, both Bren Esports and Paper Rex will be attending Masters 3 Berlin. I do, however, think that they got put in the 2 hardest groups to escape from, and honestly, I'm not going to get my hopes too high for them, but I'll be watching to see what damage they can do there. Thanks for watching, and keep tuning in for more Valorant content as well as content from other esports titles. I'll be seeing y'all later.